Good evening, psychology students. So, I am recording this audio lesson at 12:36 a.m. So, forgive me with my voice. Anyway, you could see here in my screen is our Module 3, the survey research. I'm just going to give you a review of what you have studied from last week, and also I'm just going to emphasize some points that you need to really understood before going on to our next topic. So let us have a review. The topics to discuss for Module 3, the survey research, are the followings. So we have the definition of research, the different types of survey research methods, some reasons to conduct survey research. Number 4, the survey research measurement scales. Number 5, the benefits of survey research. And number 6, survey research design. So our topic 1 is actually the definition of research. So according to our module, survey research is defined as the process of conducting research using surveys that are sent to survey respondents. So when we say send to survey respondent, it's not only through the internet or email. It is actually the personal type of giving or facilitating the survey questionnaire, which should be personal or in person. No, the history of the survey research is actually just like the history of the assessment or giving of test examinations. It has started when the businessman wanted to know feedback or the opinions of the people with regards to their products. That's why they really opt to use this survey research. Let's go with the third point. The traditional definition of survey research is quantitative method for collection of information. It is actually gathering information. It's just like you're going to describe something. It's just that since we are becoming more developed, instead of just describing the data collected, we are now making inferences or conclusion out of it, which becomes possible with the use of statistical tools or statistical measurement. Fourth point, generally, it is the primary step towards obtaining quick information about mainstream topics and conducting more rigorous and detailed quantitative research methods like surveys or poll, or in qualitative research methods like focus group, on-call interviews, among others. So that is the definition of survey research. Again, when we say survey research, it is not only a tool for quantitative. You can also use this one in qualitative. It's just that it's more applicable with quantitative. Mas maganda siya in any way. So I give you activity number 1, the definition and a brief discussion of its history. Our topic 2 is survey research methods. So number 1, we have online and email online survey. Definitely you're just going to make a Google Doc or documents and then just post it on your social media accounts or email the person, but this is not really encouraged because of anonymity and confidentiality, so we could never know. As a psychology students and future professionals, we are not really into the result or the response of our respondents. We are just going to take note of their non-verbal behaviors. So we just wanted to interview our respondents personally or face-to-face. Number 2, we have the phone survey wherein you're just going to call your participants and then ask for their answer. Number 3, we have the face-to-face, which is highly encouraged in our discipline. Further, on the basis of the time taken, survey research can be classified into two methods. So one, we have the longitudinal survey research. When we say longitudinal survey research, it involves conducting survey research over a continuum of time. So it is a very long method. It take years for you to finish, which may be spread across years and decades. The data collected using the survey research method from one time period to another is qualitative or quantitative in nature. Respondents' behavior, preferences, attitudes are observed constantly over time to analyze reasons for change in behavior or preferences. So you could see our example. If a researcher intends to learn about eating habits of teenagers, he or she will follow a sample of teenagers over a considerable period of time to ensure that the collected information is reliable. Longitudinal survey research is often followed by cross-sectional survey research. So when we say longitudinal or longitudinal, it means that you're going to follow the development of our research participants. So when we say these teenagers, all the years that they are teenagers, you're going to collect the data from them. Like for example, you're going to start with this group of teenagers when they are 13 years old until they reach 19. You're going to observe them or get information in terms of their eating habits. So sabi nga, it will take even a decade, so decades, 10 years. So what is the difference with cross-sectional survey research? Cross-sectional survey research is conducted to collect insights from a target audience at a particular time interval. Unlike the longitudinal survey research, a cross-sectional survey research is much simple in a way that you have set a particular time interval. Hindi siya ganong katagal or hindi siya ganong kabagal. This survey research method is implemented in various sectors such as retail, education, healthcare, SME businesses. Cross-sectional survey research can either be descriptive or analytical in nature. This survey research method is quick and helps researchers collected information in a brief time span. Researchers rely on cross-sectional survey research method in situation where descriptive analysis of a subject is required. So class, to make it simple, what is the major differences of these two? It is the respondents and also the time frame. So yung longitudinal mas mahaba, yung cross-sectional mas time limited. Sa longitudinal, if follow mo yung development ng particular participants, for example, yun nga teenagers from 13 years old until they reach 19. Whereas yung cross-sectional survey research could actually say na, okay, I'm going to observe these teenagers from 13 years old to 15, and then I'm going to get another teenagers naman from another country or from another cultural background, and then for 2 years I'm going to differentiate or get the similarities of their behavior. So that is cross-sectional. Okay? Meron kang dalawang klase ng respondents. So let's take a look of this table, the differences of cross-sectional and longitudinal study. Cross-sectional study are quick to conduct as compared to longitudinal studies kasi nga time limited siya. Cross-sectional study is conducted at a given point in time. Okay? Cross-sectional study is conducted with different samples. Like what I've told you, ang pinaka-glaring na differences of these two is actually the time and also the samples or the variables or our respondents. Cross-sectional studies cannot pin down cause and effect relationship. Hindi niya kayang sabihin kung ano ang cause ng isang behavior or kung ano ang epekto ng isang variable sa isang behavior. Yung longitudinal study cannot identify the cause and effect. But since sa sobrang haba nga ng process doing a longitudinal study, it could actually justify the cause and effect relationship. It's just like along the way, malalaman mo kung bakit ganun yung behavior or kung bakit ganun yung result just because you spend too much time studying this topic. Multiple variables can be studied at a single point in time. In longitudinal study, only one variable is considered to conduct the study. Again, it's all about your participants, your sample, or your variables. Cross-sectional study is comparatively cheaper. It's cheaper because you don't have to study it for a longer time. Di mo kailangang sundan. In longitudinal study, since the study goes on for years, longitudinal study tends to get expensive. Kasi nga, mas mahaba. Okay? Next, we have reasons to conduct survey research. It is actually self-explanatory. Why is it important? Letter A, understand respondent behavior to get solutions to your queries, because without understanding, without getting their thoughts, you will not understand them in any way. And then I have here the take note, the differences between confidentiality and anonymity. When we say confidential, a condition in which the researcher knows the identity of a research subject but takes steps to protect that identity from being discovered by others. Whereas anonymity is a condition in which the identity of individual subjects is not known to researchers. So sa confidentiality, medyo open pa in a way na alam mo kung sining sumasagot ng questionnaires mo, but then again, itatago mo yung identity nila once you're going to present your thesis or research. Whereas sa anonymity, you actually don't know who are these persons. That is why in our questionnaires, lagi dong may nakalagay na in terms of names kapag mag-fill out ng survey questionnaires, talagang nakalagay doon is optional. Letter B, present a medium for discussion. Place an open-ended question. Sometimes kahit gumagawa ka ng quantitative data, there's some questions that you need to make open for another suggestions. In quantitative research tools, ang ginagawa natin doon, may nakalagay kung mapapansin nyo, bibigyan mo siya ng options 1, 2, 3, and then pagdating sa 4, ilagay mo others, please specify. Ayun. Letter C, strategy for never-ending improvements, because in research, the aim is actually to improve the life of the individuals. And katulad ng sinabi ko sa inyo from before, learning is actually limitless. Mag-stop lang yung learning kapag namatay tayo. Anyway, knock on woods. Take note. Sinabi dito yung pilot surveys done to ensure that the questionnaires to be used with the true participants are free of typographical errors and can be understood easily. Kapag gumawa na kayo ng research ninyo or ng questionnaire, bago nyo po ito ibigay sa totoong respondents nyo. For example, ang respondents nyo ay psychology student second year. Bago nyo ibigay ito sa psychology student second year, magpa-pilot survey muna kayo. Pwede nyo itong ipasagot sa third year or fourth year. Bakit? Kasi itetest nyo muna kung affected ba yung survey na ginawa ninyo. So, i-check nyo kung how much time ang magagamit nyo in order to finish this research questionnaire, kung may mga typographical error ba, kung naiintindihan ba instructions. So from that, parang tinesting nyo, kumbaga, from that, may improve nyo. So the time na sasagutan na siya ng totoo yung respondents, it will be easier and you're going to get a response that you need for your study. So yung topic 4, survey research measurement and scales, madali na to dahil natakal natin to during the survey research. So, the nominal, the ordinal, the interval, and the ratio. Natin pahabain yan. And then, we have the survey research design. And then, we have the overall design. The respondent attitude. I-check nyo din kasi talaga yung respondents nyo whether naka-highlight, when developing your instrument, it is important to choose the method you think will work for your research. That is why kailangan mo talaga ng pilot testing. The nature of questions, is it easier for respondents to use paper and pencil, or do you want them to just do it online? But then again, you need to be personally assisting the respondents, like computer assisted, andong ka din sa tabi niya or sa likod niya. The cost, kasi nga mas mura, mas okay, hindi natin kailangan gumastos ng malaki sa research. And lastly, the ability of instrument to meet needs of research questions. So eto yon class, yung ating lecture 2. Actually, ang susunod dapat talaga dito is yung paggawa natin ng research test questionnaires, and also syempre, bago ka gumawa ng research questionnaires, isa-isahin natin, kailangan meron pa yung cover letter, meron pa yung informed consent, bago pa talaga yung iyong research questionnaire. So, pag kita-kita natin, hopefully, God's willing, on April 14, everything that we're going to do is actually the application of what we are discussing here online. So, for Module 3, Survey Research, expect that you're going to make a research questionnaire. Yung assignment nyo dito sa pinakadulo, class, yung gagawa kayo ng 10-item questionnaire, we're going to discuss pa paano mai-improve, tsaka ano yung mga common mistakes. And then, gagawa tayo ng cover letter, how to do it properly, because most of the students, even our seniors, yung mga graduate na, they really have had hard times making a cover letter. And then, yung informed consent, ano yung laman nun, paano mo siya sasabihin, yung alignment, yung justify, hindi marunong. So, ang dami natin gagawin. So, we're going to, again, do that activity when we meet on April. We're going to make cover letter, we're going to make informed consent, we're going to make the research tools or the questionnaires. Okay, yun yung mga gagawin natin, yung tatlong yon. Kasi that is very important para hindi mahirapan yung maging thesis advisors yung. So, class, that ends the review of our experimental psychology, Module 3, Survey Research. Thank you.